How do they use Kendo? Now this is really getting down to the guts of what I want to talk about in terms of how do we actually manage employee experience. The first thing is that they wanted to define what success looked like for every person. Big question. So what does success look like? Do you know in your job what success looks like? We did that by establishing for every person a very clear objective or set of objectives and a role in the organisation. And that was done democratically. The employee would nominate what their role was, and they would, by negotiation, agree what their objectives were with their manager. So that was defined. They knew what they had to do. That was the race. They're very clear what they were going to do. The second thing, and this is a big thing, we made work meaningful. Now, you think of a place, their biggest product in the time, toilet paper. So, how is it meaningful to be involved in the making and distribution of toilet paper? The key element to make work meaningful is actually to define what the work is. Work is a concept of delivering something, and measure it and define what it has to be, what the output of that has to be. And by doing that, the combination of determining what success looks like and making work meaningful actually increase the engagement enormously. The third part of the step, because that's delivering work for the organisation, what about me? Everybody had their capabilities assessed. They compared that to the role that they had. They could see where the gaps were, so they developed growth plans, growth goals, to actually move them from where their current skill set was to the skill set that was needed to fulfil that role. And if we wanted to challenge them, we allowed them to create a future role, an aspiring role, so they could actually build a growth plan that would take them to where they might want to be in their career in 2 or 3 years' time. So people were allowed and encouraged to do that. And lastly, things were measured. And this is not like running around and putting the clamp on people, but things were measured and reported. So when there were variances, when things were going wrong, then there could be feedback and constructive one-on-one discussions. And SME don't do formal annual reviews. It's an ongoing one-to-one process, and it's constantly measured and recorded in the way that Kendo does that, so that that's a real-time as-you-go competition.